Welcome to Cloud Ping Podcast.
I'm Samik.
I'm Atlas.
Thanks for being here. So
this is part something of our story.
Probably 5, possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, it'll say it on the title, so whatever.
So for those of you who've been here for the first time, thanks for being here, and people who keep coming and watching us, we must be interesting. So thank you for your continued support.
Yes, we appreciate you guys so much.
So before we get into things, just again for the people who are new here, I just want to give a quick intro of what we do. So I create these products. We own this business together. And I'm really excited. The reason I'm really excited is because since we transitioned from Thea's Essence to Cloud Pink, now we finally have our new bottles. You can see the products are really improved to really strong botanical extracts and actives. You can see the prototype sticker, but I'll just give a quick look. Doesn't that look good?
And so, for those of you that are just listening, come to YouTube to see what we're talking about, or we'll drop an Instagram link to see the pictures of what we're talking about.
You can visit us at cloudpinkbeauty.com. I'm sure we'll not disappoint you. I mean, your skin and mine too. So I had like wrinkles coming in, entering middle age. But really though, it's really helped because the cream actually is really smooth and nice. It's very gentle yet powerful.
I've been using it for 1 month at this point?
I think? 1 month in like all together, and how much acne scars, inflammation and stuff has gone down. I mean, mine too. I had like some acne scars right here. They're all gone.
Yeah, I feel for me also, like there was a lot of fine lines that I felt were getting stronger, and then like since I've been using this, they've been getting less and less. So I feel like I'm aging backwards.
That's the whole point.
And my overall like skin tone is more even, and I just love it. I just feel amazing every time I put it on, and like pretty much the entire thing soaks in within like 10 minutes. So that's something that's like really special about it too. Like it's all going in. Yeah.
That's why it's called glimmer. There's no like strong oils or something that just stay on your skin. For that, we'll have our sunscreen come in. That will be gentle and luxurious feeling too. Yeah. So for people coming into our website from the podcast, use the code podcast, save you some money on your first order. Yes. And always email us, DM us. Yeah. Leave comments. We love to hear it. What products you'd like to see. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're here to inspire, taking your self-care seriously.
Yeah. And if you have any questions about like the ingredients or your skin or anything, you can feel free to DM us or email us. It literally is just the two of us in this business at this point. So every aspect of it is just done with so much love and care. So yes, we appreciate you.
Yeah, so these beautiful recycled wireless glass bottles. So yeah. All right, let's get into it. Thank you again.
Yeah, so where we left off, we basically had just adopted Op. We were living in Hanoi.
We were living in Hanoi, Vietnam.
Yeah.
We just adopted Op. Op is our sweet little paralyzed pug.
Yes,
everyone loves her. We're all obsessed with. She's gotten older though. I was just thinking this morning, because you know how her whole like what do you call it, the face part didn't have so much gray hair. Now she's got all gray hair. She's losing the like beautiful like black muzzle.
Yeah. She still looks beautiful though. Just more wise.
She's really cute.
Anyway, so we were gonna tell a few stories from our time in Vietnam. It's like a 2-year period. So but while we were there, basically like every 3 months, we would have to go out to do a visa run. So we like ended up going to Taiwan, Thailand, Laos.
Cambodia was when we left Vietnam. Yeah.
I think those are the only places we went. We just went to Thailand.
We went to Laos twice.
4 times, maybe?
I remember the first time we went to Laos, we just drove in, and then we stayed at the hotel by the water, then went and chilled at the waterfall, made love down there.
Oh, yeah! Oh, my God!
Had a meal, and then came back into Vietnam.
And we lost your hakik
Yeah,
by the waterfall.
Well, it was not a hakik, it was a protection prayer wrapped up.
Yeah, that your mom had
really
made.
tiny, but I have this now. I always keep it on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. So the first time we went to Laos was way funner than the second time.
We'll get into that. So yeah, I mean, living in Vietnam, such a beautiful place.
Yeah, we love it. We miss you, Vietnam.
Yeah.
So, we wanted to talk about the festival.
Yeah, I mean, we did really cool things in Vietnam. I mean, from starting a meal service business, which I talked last time about, the meal delivery service, which was first of its kind in Vietnam, in Hanoi at least.
Yeah.
So
we did like vend at some festivals.
We did. And they asked me about this festival too. They reached out to me if I wanted to do the catering. I was like, that's too short notice. I mean, 13,000 people coming in. They asked me if I could do catering 3 days before the festival.
Yeah, so it was the biggest contemporary arts festival in
Asia.
Southeast Asia?
In Asia.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought Southeast Asia. I'm pretty sure Southeast Asia.
I think it was in Asia, but I might be wrong.
But basically, you can Google Dawan Kine.
It's DAOANHKHANH. So this guy is an amazing artist.
He's a living legend.
He's a legend.
We absolutely adore him. And I mean, he's just one of the coolest people I've ever met.
Amazing
dancer. So he
dancer.
was turning 60, right?
Yeah, he was turning 60. He had this dream of always throwing the biggest party for his 60th birthday. And
so he threw an entire arts festival.
Arts festival on his land.
Yeah, and his land is like, he has 13 giant, like 3-story tall penis statues.
Yeah, phallus statues.
Yeah, on his property.
You can go in there and stay in there too.
Yeah, it's open to the public. So he was throwing this giant festival, and then he threw like a pre-party, like a few weeks.
We were there
before.
That was fun.
Yeah, I don't know how we even.
This is in Hoa Binh. For people who are interested and want to go there, it's in Hoa Binh. It's close to Hanoi.
Yeah, it's not far.
It's like an hour and a half away. Yeah.
So we went to this pre-party. I don't think we had met him yet.
Well, we had met Kine.
Had we met him?
Yeah, we had met Kine.
And that's how we found out to go?
Yeah, and then you were already, our friend, had asked you to get on board for this as a
No, it was
dancer,
afterwards. Right? No.
It was after the pre-party? I thought it was before.
No. So this is what happened. We go to the pre-party festival on his property, and there was like this weird
swimming pool
pit. Yeah, swimming pool.
It was an empty swimming pool.
Empty. And there was it was like a dance floor, this empty swimming pool. And there was this crazy DJ and stuff. And I think this is when I met Kine, actually, because I started dancing in there in the swimming pool, and he started dancing too.
You guys danced for a while and everyone was watching.
Yeah, and we had this like weird, cool dance going on where we were just like so like
Buto-esque.
Yeah, Buto-like, and just everything. Like, it was so awesome. That's actually like a very fond dance memory for me. Like, that's
dancing
special.
With a legend.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
But I didn't know he was a legend yet. This is how we met. I am pretty sure, for me at least, this is how we met. And then afterwards, he was like, that was so epic. You're so dope. Do you want to choreograph the piece for my festival? And I was like, are you joking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck yes.
And you did?
Yeah, that was like a total dream for me. And so that's when because she was working with him.
She was a creative director.
Yeah, that's when he told her to get me on board, basically. So that's when we started working together. And then I gathered...
That's where I became friends with Kine too. He always recognized me after that.
Oh, yeah. Like, he adored you. It was so cool. And, like, so basically, I gathered some dancers.
Yeah.
Like, our friends and a few people I didn't know. I don't remember how I found these people.
Oh, we did auditions.
Did we do auditions?
Yeah.
That is so
I
sick.
remember we also booked a studio where you could practice. So I got that crew together, and that was, I mean, it was one thing though. It was a chaotic festival. It was so beautiful. At the same time, there was, I guess, mismanagement from some people.
Well, there was some corruption also. There was something where they were trying to mess with them.
Yeah. And they tried their best, though.
They put so much. And the other thing is and his daughter really want to put this on for her dad. And they did the whole festival for free.
Yeah. Free for... there was food you could pay for, of course.
But the food was terrible, too, because they, there was some random group that was like, you have to use our food or we're going to, shut it down. Some, gangster type shit.
That's why they asked me and then they backed out, I guess. I said, yeah, I would do it because we were in Taiwan at this point. So we had to do a visa run before the festival.
Yeah.
So we were in Taiwan for 3 days.
Taiwan's so cool, by the way.
If you get a chance, please go. Taiwan's
the legend is among us. Come here, I'll get closer. Come here.
We'll show you up and then let her go.
She can't get closer. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Actually, babe, hold on. She's being.
Oh. Okay.
So we're back. The deer pug had a little pee accident.
Yeah.
So we had to deal with that. So yeah, we're talking about the festival, how we were in Taiwan.
Yes.
And that's when I
totally forgot that Taiwan was right before the festival.
Yeah, I mean, it was 4 days before.
Right. That's what happened. They had that whole weird thing with the food. And then while we were in Taiwan, they were like, can you do it?
Yeah, I said yes in the end. And then I kept checking with them. And I guess they couldn't pull that for me. It would have been great if they did because the food people are the ones that made the most money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but so, yeah, then when we got there, also, the dancers, were camping on the ground.
We got there late. I mean, they had tents for everyone. But...
Oh, and then this was the worst part. They put the experimental music stage.
Oh, right by the dancers.
Right by where the dancers had to sleep. I felt so bad for the dancers.
Because there was that music going on all night.
Because I'm very sensitive. So
and we left and actually got a hotel.
We got a hotel. Because I was like, I can't do this. But, and, all the dancers were like,
yeah,
we're okay here and stuff. But then those poor things, that music was like,
yeah. I remember your guys' costume. It was a leotard, skin-colored leotard with no, was it?
No, I think you're confusing it with a different thing.
With the body paint?
Oh, yeah, we did do body paint. Yeah. We did body paint. And, the dancers were so freaking awesome.
It's on BBC, though, if you want to ever see it. Dao Swan Festival, maybe if you Google it, you're able to find it. So Dao An, what he did, he climbed on top of one of his penis statues.
Dude, it was so epic. No, hold on, you're getting ahead of yourself. Because that was in the middle of the performance.
Yeah.
But when he did that, literally he went, right? If you're just listening, just this epic face, wah! And then right when he did that, it started raining.
Yeah. It was powerful.
So epic.
And then there was fire.
Yes.
Going through, yeah.
But basically, when we started, the dancers, we thought that it was time, but they were actually doing a sound check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we stared, dancing and performing.
All camouflaged in that body paint, essentially.
Yeah. And there was, the choreography, there was choreography and improv, basically, in the performance. So it was crazy, but basically we started dancing, and then, it just kept going and going and going and going. And I feel like it was, 20 minutes in, we were like, this is a sound check. And we're just like, fuck. But we just kept going. So I just, danced through the dancers and just, whispered to them, don't worry, just keep going, just keep dancing. So we thought that the performance was going to be some, I don't know, short thing, 30 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
But that's not short for a dance performance, but
you stand for an hour.
It was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But the dancers just kept going, and it was so epic. And at one point we came off the stage danced through the crowd. This was unplanned, but all of us dancers were so in sync with each other. We just did it. And we just danced off the stage, danced through the crowd onto this like weird bridge thing.
Yeah.
Kept dancing and then like ended the performance on this bridge. And that was completely unplanned. So all the dancers were so epic. And the musicians were great too. It was just like there was a communication breakdown, but it ended up being like really magical. Like everyone
talk about it sometimes when Atlas is questioning themselves, like, "Oh, my dance, this and that." I'm like, "You actually choreographed the main piece, or at least a part of the main piece, for the biggest festival in Asia."
Yeah,
that's a big achievement, you know. So
that's true. I love that, and it just magically kind of came to me. So I do hope things like that happen again in my life. It was so
I was manager of the dance crew that day.
I mean, you were just running around making sure everybody was okay, had what they needed. Yeah. But it was freaking awesome actually overall. Yeah, but it was like one of those things where, you know, like the Instagram reel versus reality or something. Like Instagram role is like, oh, what you just said, like you choreographed this piece for this huge festival. And then like the reality is behind the scenes, like the dancers were like all just like the food was stale, like they were sleeping on the ground in these tents and this crazy music was playing and all this stuff. But overall it was such a worth it experience. And we ended up like kind of staying together for a little bit as a crew and like doing a few other small performances, which was cool.
Yeah. I mean, that was one epic thing I could really remember from Vietnam. And then there was Duality Festival, right? Where we did the food. That was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we fed 400 something people in 2 days. That was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. After Daochuan, this was exhausted. Around March of 2019. This is a little bit before we left Vietnam. But it was eventful. The whole time was eventful.
Remember Banana
Island. Oh my gosh.
Banana Island Festival was crazy.
You weren't there. The second one you were. The first one you weren't. Yeah, you were sick on the first one.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one that we went to that went really badly. Yeah.
Because it started raining and...
So remember...
The first one was really big.
So the person who put on the Banana Island Festival...
Banana Island, basically, this festival by the Red River in Hanoi, by the bridge. So there's these banana groves.
So it is like an island in the river. Or not exactly an island, but whatever. Anyway, the person who put on the festival was our friend. And they're from South Africa. And local people told him, hey, you should probably not do it tomorrow. Like, I think it's going to rain, it's going to flood, and it's going to...
It was a torrential rain, thunderstorm.
Like, you should put it off.
Tropical thunderstorm.
And he felt like, I already did all the marketing and everything. If I put it off for a week, nobody's going to come. And I think
this was a harder location to get to than the previous one.
Yeah.
Because the previous one you could just go down the bridge and there was a straight up road that led to that.
That one sounded really fun.
That was fun. Epic? I did the food there. I made good money.
Yeah.
I was there till the early morning. And,
you
know, that was nice. There was a lot of people there. And then...
It was like a huge success, basically.
Yeah, kind of for what it was.
Yeah.
But this next one, disaster. I even remember. So we were last moment shopping for liquor. We had to buy some food stuff. So there's Metro in Asia. That's like Costco of Asia, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So we were buying liquor for the festival and all that. But guess what? When we got there, it already started raining. And we didn't even get there. I mean, we're on the bridge. So there's a bridge that connects Long Bien to downtown Hanoi. And then we had to go down the fucking bridge to get to the island, but not from the normal route because we didn't know. It's like basically these bridges have these little ramps where motorcycles can get through. It was insane, slippery in the thunderstorm. I slipped on the motorcycle from the bridge. Literally on the ramp. I slipped down, but luckily I held my foot down and like drug around so I don't fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This whole thing was crazy.
Yeah.
And then once, I don't remember like how we even got down, but once
we had
were
so
there,
much stuff on our motorcycle too.
So much because we thought we were doing the food and whatever. And well, we were, so we had bought so much food and stuff for this. And then
we decked it out. This time we made a banner. We thought it was gonna be big.
Yeah, and then we freaking got down there, and it's just the slickest, deepest, squelchiest mud of your life. Everything is literally in shambles, like
freaking mosh pit.
Like everything is in shambles.
Which I hate.
It is
mosh pits.
Unsafe. Like it is the craziest shit you've ever seen. And then, so obviously nobody came. All the food went to waste. It was like at that.
Not all of it, but a lot of it.
Most of it.
Do you remember the next day when we were taking stuff? Oh, the day before when we were moving stuff in earlier in the day, we used this boat to go pull through onto that part of the island where the festival was. Remember? This little boat we were carrying stuff in.
Yeah.
But the next day when we were getting stuff out, it was so tough because the river level had risen so much from the tropical thunderstorm. I mean, it damn near became impossible, but somehow we survived.
Should have listened to the locals not to do it. And I remember, like, I was dumb because when he was asking our opinion, like, oh, somebody said we shouldn't do it or whatever, I think I was like, do it if you want to do it or something.
Yeah, you said you already put in the work.
Yeah, So I remember I had the wrong opinion, obviously, and I felt bad about that.
You guys became close after that, right? To the friend who put the festival.
Yeah.
And then I guess he traveled. He was in downtown. He was really bummed because he put so much money. There were so many people that actually put so much money into that and lost, basically.
Because remember, I was actually supposed to. So I was trying to piggyback off of this choreograph and perform and teach at festival thing because that was like really what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And so I had actually gotten into 2 festivals in Europe. And they were supposed to start like the next couple
few
days later after that. And they didn't pay, but like I was so excited. And because like
we were thinking we would make so much money on the banana and we could recoup what you were going to use in Europe.
Yeah.
Because we put so much money into that.
And instead it was like, oh, we actually lost so much money.
I mean, it was like so much for us. Because it was kind of so much for us.
Well, yeah.
Well, and also
so
we were building a cafe. Remember?
Yeah.
And we were dumping so much money into that.
Yeah. So basically, like, it was like all the extra money we had for like the month. Not even extra. Like it was like it was a really important amount of money for us, and so I canceled my tickets to Europe because, like, I really wasn't going to have any money to, like, survive in Europe for the, like, 2 weeks I was supposed to be gone or whatever.
Yeah.
So I never got to go do those festivals.
But you were selected to perform or do a workshop in 2 of those, right? Or one of those. The Switzerland one. What was the Switzerland? Temple?
I don't know. The one in Switzerland, so my friend from the U.S. did go, and because she was supposed to meet me there, and that was such a, like, I felt so bad having that conversation, like, I can't come, and you were supposed to come meet me. But she did go. She said I probably wouldn't have liked it anyway, because it was, like, a trance festival, and I didn't realize that.
And then
but the other one, I think, was Meadows in the Mountains.
Meadows in the Mountains, yeah.
Which that one I've been...
Bulgaria, Sofia. We definitely want to go there still.
Yeah. We've been in contact with them for years. It just never worked out.
Well, they had to cancel. COVID happened.
Yeah.
They canceled a few times in a row.
So yeah, that one was like the last chance before COVID. Yeah. Obviously,
we'll probably go there next year.
Yeah.
That I feel like, or something like that.
Basically, I mean, COVID like smashed a lot of dreams.
I mean. So we left Vietnam right before COVID. I mean, our life there became a little challenging with the cafe not working out.
Yeah, this is what happened with the cafe. You should,
So, I mean, we transitioned our meal delivery service into a cafe.
Because we actually had a pretty good growing audience, and like a lot of people around Hanoi like knew who we were, loved our food, like... we were going to these festivals and stuff. So people were like...
People were looking forward to us having a location, especially you picked a location that was very popular.
We were going to do it inside of a bar. Or, like, not exactly inside. We were building an outdoor kitchen because this is very, like, normal in Vietnam. Like, you could just throw up a kitchen and start cooking and, like, you can do that. So we were building this kitchen at the entranceway.
No, it's like an alley next to the entrance.
Yeah, like, outside of a popular bar. Won't say the name of it, I guess.
And dance club, I guess, yeah.
Let's call it Boo.
So yeah, it was a really cool place. I'll say that. So yeah, we started building all of this. Dumped all
of our money into this for months.
Yeah,
like for months we were building this.
Working in that 120-degree heat.
Yeah,
and it's just us.
We had local people coming and telling us some days, like, you guys need to stop working. It's too hot.
And then, well, we had help with locals like fabricators because I actually made a covered kitchen. And like in the end, so what had happened after that is like we're really excited to open. We decided to move the opening a little bit. We talked with the owners and stuff. They were fine. And then they decided to do something. We didn't know. We're like, okay, we're geared up to open in 2 weeks. And because we had the money. We had everything set up. We had staff. We did interviews. We hired people.
We had spent thousands of dollars. And then, we had staff.
Yeah.
And then they said, we're shutting the bar.
Well, they actually sold it to someone or whatever they did.
And it was so shitty because they had actually known for a while and didn't tell us and let us keep building and building and building without telling us because they thought that we would save the bar.
Which we would.
We probably would have.
I mean, I know we would serve at least 100, 150 people a day.
I mean, we were very, like, close to something, like, pretty great, actually. Pretty freaking great.
It would be pretty big.
Yeah.
I was sure it would because,
like we said, we already had the audience. We already had the people that loved our food. Constantly, people literally would be like, you should raise your prices and all this kind of stuff. Like, people buying our food.
And it was prime location, too, because people knew, like, it was around Tejo, so it's, like, a lot of expats, locals, and
just fun area.
But that was a heartbreak for me.
Man, we were so salty.
And we got broke after that, too.
It was just, like, at the time, it felt so devastating. Now, looking back, I'm like, whatever, things happen. But, like, at the time, it was like, oh, we really put everything we had into this and then just kind of got fucked over.
So, I mean, I guess that's where a lot of my, entrepreneurial spirit comes through. And, like, we've had all those challenges and we've took them head on.
Yeah.
We're still here.
I, like, when we talk about these stories and stuff, I, like, miss those times of our life, like, living in Vietnam because I just loved how it was just project after project. It was just, like, always some random thing coming up, and it was such a social way to live. And, I miss Vietnam all the time. I love that time of our lives.
Yeah.
And we had no idea what was coming next and how freaking opposite our life was about to be. Because basically, after that, we did decide to leave Vietnam.
Yeah, there was a few factors, right? I mean, there was the factor that the pollution was intense. I was having a tough time with the business. No, I mean, someone offered to buy it.
Yeah, that was the other thing, too. We tried to sell the business. Somebody offered to buy it. It fell through.
Well, it was not just... We didn't make the first offer to sell. Someone offered to buy. Right? But
it fell through.
Yeah, it was weird things. Whatever. So yeah, I was exhausted. I mean, I was the one person doing a lot with that business. So lesson that lesson I learned early is do not overextend yourself to the point where you cannot passionately do something.
Yeah. You should have hired so much sooner.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, so we decided to leave. I mean, your job ended too because you had a contract that was
like a year long.
Yeah. So, it was. So that contract ended too, and
we just felt like let's go on a new adventure, basically.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun, and more fun than we did most of the time in the last month of us being there. Just because we knew we were leaving, we were barely working, and we had some money and stuff, so we had fun. And then after that, we decided to.
What do you mean we had money?
I was still continuing the business while I was there.
Yeah, we just sold, like, we basically scrounged like a little bit to leave from like just selling off everything from the kitchen. But then you got
the job at VIP Kids.
That's what it was. Yes. Yeah. We basically I was like wanting the freedom to move around. Yeah, we were wanting that. So I actually got a job teaching Chinese kids English online. So that was really, really dope, actually, because I made like $1,500 a month, and I felt like I was balling.
At one point when we came to the States, you were working on that quite a bit, and you were making like 3 or 4.
4 was like the highest month that ever happened.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it was like I made $2,000 a month.
2 or 3, right?
But that was good for us while we were in Asia.
In Asia it was good because
it was very good.
So you got that job. I got to relax a bit.
Yeah, you had been working so hard. So we went to we just took off and took like our backpacks or whatever, and we traveled.
Oh, before this though, this is the last visa run we had done.
Oh my God, we have to talk about the last visa. This was part of what contributed us also to feeling done, I think.
Yeah, this was
not done, but
this was still when we were still in work stuff for our cafe and stuff. But yeah, we moved into another house.
We were so brokety broke. It's fine.
Yeah, so we had to do this visa run. We had enough money for that, but then we also had to use $100 from our friends.
So yeah, we were so broke at this point. So yeah,
we took our motorcycle and we went to Laos. 7 hours.
Listen, remember we mentioned this motorcycle in the last episode. We bought this bike in Saigon.
For $160.
$160.
Something like that.
Like almost 2 years before.
Not almost. It was a year before at this point. Yeah.
Year and a half. At least. Before.
No,
we were in Vietnam for almost 2 years. This was our last visa run.
Yeah.
The next time we had a visa run coming up, that's when we decided to just like move.
Yeah.
So it was close to the end. It was the last visa run.
We overstayed in this visa run when we went to Laos. We overstayed by 2 days. They asked us at the border.
Yeah, so
and one thing, like if you're going to Vietnam, you have to have this letter of authorization or they won't let you in.
Yeah, so you have to get it from a travel agent
or the
in Vietnam
website online. Yeah.
So that's like a common business to have there. But so basically this bike, the second gear was not working.
Yeah, it was intermittent for half our ride, but then it literally stopped working, and then so we were going through Phuong. Phuong is a beautiful area of Vietnam.
It was mind-blowing.
I mean, there's all these nice mountains.
It's like the mountains are literally like, it feels like straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down.
Houses on stilts.
Yes.
Someone invited us to one of those.
Yeah, well, at one point.
On our way there, to Laos.
We like got into this valley and it started raining like crazy, and we pulled to the side and somebody was like, come on into the house. The house was so cool. Like,
yeah, just up on the stilts. They took the
it's like bamboo mostly, and the whole floor is like open. Like there wasn't much furniture or anything. It was just the whole house was like open, one room. There's mattresses stacked up on the side, and they just like bust out whatever they need at the time. So like bust out the mattress. Kitchen was downstairs. And they just like had us, smoke and drink tea.
They offered food too.
Yeah, it was so sweet.
It was so sweet of them. I mean, Vietnamese people are really awesome. I highly recommend
traveling there.
It's a life-changing experience.
Just be respectful and try to learn.
Yeah, be respectful of the culture. I mean,
and don't be appalled that people are straightforward.
There's a certain place in the world, people from there tend to be really disrespectful when they travel all over Asia. People probably know where I'm talking about.
I think different people would think of different places when you say that.
Okay. But yeah, I mean...
But you don't have to say it.
Yeah.
I know, but you don't have to say it.
Why should I say it?
Say it.
Well,
it rhymes with is not real.
It's a fictional country.
Yeah.
So it's a fictional country somewhere. People from there tend to be really disrespectful. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen the recent video that's going viral in all over Thailand. I mean, I guess the person's gonna be kicked out of Thailand. But
yes, I should
so don't be like that when you travel to India.
Like
I mean,
that.
I've had like some really bad experiences with people who served in their defense forces and stuff, and then they come and travel in packs and then just turn the whole town to like their people, and they ignore the locals, treat them disrespectfully, expect their food to be superior, which none of their own food exists in the world.
And they just play that terrible music everywhere they go. They're not even nice to other foreigners either.
Yeah, they're not. So
anyway,
travel.
Don't be a freaking colonizer, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't be a freaking colonizer when you're visiting these countries. Respect them, respect their cultures. Yeah. So, so this trip, Lao again.
Yeah. Okay, so we were like driving up this really steep mountain at one point. We were like hours and hours in. It's very, very rural where we're at, by the way. And the second gear completely poops out, and you had me get down, and you were like trying to drive it, and you were like walking with your feet.
Yeah, because we're like going steep.
And so I had to just like walk up this mountain. So we were going like hours and hours and hours away, and every time we were going up a mountain or like straight down, which was so many times, I had to get down and walk, and you had to like walk it with your feet.
It was tough because we had our bag on the back. And
it was insane, but it was...
we made it.
We did make it.
7 hours ride total.
And it was beautiful.
7 or 8.
And we literally had 100,000 dong, or like, we had the exact amount of money we needed to pay for the visa.
Yeah, here's the problem. By the time we got there,
like 200,000 dong, which is $10, by the way.
So we exit Vietnam, and then the difference is insane going into Laos. I really feel bad for that country. It's some of the most beautiful scenery. I mean, there's waterfalls running through highways on
It's such an amazing country, but a lot of people don't know that it's the country that's been bombed by the U.S. more than any other place in the world.
Yeah, so this time when we went there, we got to see those caves where people would hide.
We saw that the first time we went.
No, the first time we went, we just went the waterfall and then came back.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. This was like through Namio.
Yeah.
And it was devastating to see.
It's so heartbreaking.
Basically, when the U.S. and the Vietnam War was happening, they planted 280 million mines in Laos.
It still goes off and kills children today.
Still this day, because they don't know where they've planted every single one of those.
So, when we were there, we were just, like, learning some of the history. Op is coming again.
Yeah, so we were learning some of the history, asking locals. The insane part is, like, I mean, got a lot of respect for Vietnamese people and the resilience. So do I have for the Laotian people. Yeah. I mean, any people who stood against oppression, colonization, and all, like, oh man.
I mean,
like, I have deep respect for them.
My heart still like really breaks when I think about those caves and like what we learned about them too, because they were saying that like, or what we read somewhere.
Yeah, it was inside the caves they had.
Yeah, they had these like memorials.
The weird part is not many people visited these caves.
No, I mean, it's in actually such a rural area, but basically they would have to kill any like chickens or dogs or cats that they had that were white.
Lighter in color.
That were light in color because the U.S. would just fly over, and if they saw any
living thing,
any domesticated animal at all, whether it be a food animal or pet or something like that, they would just drop bombs. because
they knew there was population.
They knew there must be people close by. So the people would hide in the caves, and they would make sure to like just kill all those animals so that they couldn't.
Yeah, so they would try to have brown chickens as much as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like these underground like bunkers, and I mean, it's devastating. Like they got bombed for like close to a decade. For no reason.
I really cannot even tell you like why did this happen. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean,
it was something about some Vietnamese people might be like in the north be hiding in Laos or something.
What was the
Ho Chi Minh's people were like hiding in Laos?
The name of the
Viet Cong?
Viet Cong people, yeah. The Viet people they thought were traveling through Laos and Vietnam, like going to like north to Laos and then to the south, and you know there was a lot of things, and
I'm sure there was another secret reason. Like it's
it's hard to like even fathom that amount of disregard that they had for human life.
Yeah.
That's made Laos one of the poorest. I mean, it is the poorest country on the planet. But if you get a chance to visit Laos, definitely do it. So I want to go again.
I would love to spend more time.
Yeah, I want to take that boat from Luang Prabang into Chiang Rai in Thailand.
Yes.
So if you love Thai food, so Thai larb, fun fact, it actually comes from Laos. And Laos is spicier and tangier. I pick Laotian larb anytime over Thai larb, just because I mean it's just amazing.
Yeah, I would love to spend more time in Laos, but it was definitely like a beautiful experience to get to see some, and we went into a town and we had some amazing food.
We saw these caves, and then on our way back,
the caves just had the most heartbreaking energy you could ever imagine.
When we were going up in Laos, when we went in from the Vietnamese border, I always think about this and I talk to people about how was the experience when they ask me. I'm like, it's insane because Vietnam, you will not find unpaved roads almost anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you drive through all of Vietnam, there's like big electronic stores out of nowhere and all that, you know, electronics and everything. Remember that? Randomly we would approach and there doesn't seem to be really a big town, but then there's like this giant store selling TVs and stuff.
Yeah, Vietnam is very developed, basically.
Yeah, Vietnam is not. Like, I wouldn't even call it a third world country. I mean,
no,
honestly,
that term is bullshit. Yeah, that term is
like that. I'm talking about how, in terms of how people say, or Vietnam is a highly developed country, actually.
Yeah, people call it developing. I don't think so. I think
it is fast developing, yes, but I mean that whole like,
I would say it's
people saying like third world and all that is such a bullshit. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but basically, in terms of like, if we were to use that language, like Lao actually is like developing because they. Like basically when you cross over,
like what are they gonna do? You know,
yeah. Like when you cross over, you like immediately see how developed Vietnam actually is because, like the roads are immediately like dirt.
Yeah, there's literally like.
But there's a lot of like beauty to that too. Like
I mean, people seem so excited to see us and give us smiles and throughout the way.
Yeah, it was
stopped
cool.
At that little shack to get some ice cream.
I remember just being like really charmed by like driving and seeing kids on the side of the road, like kind of in the nature, like showering with like an outdoor situation or whatever, and then just being like. Like so excited to see us, and I just felt charmed like by
most beautiful things is we were going through this pass to go into those caves since we had time to explore. There's literal springs and waterfalls running.
Oh, my feet are probably in your
camera. Sorry. Yeah,
the springs. Showering in the springs.
Yeah, and then there's waterfalls running through the street, so you can see the waters passing through.
Yeah, it's the road where you drive. It's gorgeous place, and we got to see such a special place because this is
this is not like a highly tourist place like Luang Prabang.
There was no tourists. It's not like somewhere you would fly into or anything.
Yeah, this is like a border town.
Yeah,
you know, so. We got to do that. We got back out of there. Our motorcycle had some issues. I took it to mechanic in Laos. And then he fixed it a little bit.
So we just went in and then we wanted to explore as much as we could.
For a few hours.
And then we wanted to come back because we didn't have money for like a hotel or anything like that. Even though it would probably be $5-10, we literally didn't have it. So we came back into Vietnam in the evening, like trying to
literally
get
5 minutes after the border closed.
So this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. So like when we came in, the border had just closed like 2 minutes ago. And so all of the officers were in their freaking boxers playing volleyball because it's Vietnam
and
in the
the
night.
Doku? The foot thing, the little weighted feather cock thing.
Oh yes, yeah, they were playing that and volleyball.
Yeah.
All naked in their underwear.
Yeah.
Literally, and we roll up and we're like, "Hey, officers, like, can we please get a visa?" And they're like, "No, it's
stay at this hotel because we had stayed there the night before. Before going into Laos, we stayed there in the night in that hotel at the border.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because we got there late in the night. We stayed there in that right by the border in that hotel, and then in the morning we went to Laos. So on our way back, they wanted us to stay again, and we're like, "Oh, we cannot afford it. We had enough money to pay for the visa thing."
Yeah. So we're like, "Officers, can we please have a visa?" And they're like, "No, it's
They discussed
evening.
a little bit, and then the head officer, just called us into his office, shirtless in his boxers. Literally, like, comes in, his, like I guess.
Okay, you made it sound so easy. We had to stand there for so long.
No, it was not too long. It felt
so long.
It was
because,
hot as shit.
No, it felt long because we really didn't have the money to stay, and they were telling us that we had to stay. And so we were like, "No, please, 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 can we have a visa?" And they were just like, "No, stay the night, stay the night, stay the night." And then finally they were just like, "You guys really don't have the money, whatever," whatever. And he was like, "All right, come on." And like you said, he was in his boxers and wrote us a visa by hand in his boxers.
Yeah. He wrote us a visa by hand. That was out of pocket, but we were like, "Hey, cool, thank you."
I mean, I'll never get the image of getting a visa by an officer in his boxers out of my head. Like,
yeah, I mean, that was insane.
That's a charmed life, really.
Yeah,
it really is.
I mean, Vietnamese people always loved us. It was like cool that they helped us that much. And then we got out of there, I think about 10-15 miles from the border. It got dark. We're going through the mountains again.
Mm-hmm.
So the
dark.
We enter
very rural area range. Still. There's some towns.
And then there's beautiful stars out, and
and then the bike starts smoking.
We had gas. We had everything. It's
like crazy.
And it would not go. So the transmission was busted.
Sorry to leave you guys on a cliffhanger, but we're going to pick up exactly where we left off next week.
Yeah, and thank you for being here. Follow us on Cloudpink Beauty and check us out at cloudpinkbeauty.com. We look forward to seeing you next week, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for listening to our stories.
Bye.
Bye.